It's interesting you talk about, how they're doing it differently. They clearly are, because we can look at what's gone before in terms of Conte and Mourinho. You can see that from a similar number of games, it's worse. His record, Postecoglu, is worse than Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho, who were both sacked by Daniel Levy. So you say that things are slightly different then. Why do you think he's being afforded more time? Was this the long-term project then, and they've gone for Ange and they'll stick by him?
Yeah, there seem to be a number of factors that, obviously the change in, behind the scenes when they've kind of mixed it up recruitment-wise, and they've brought in a few additions, and they're trying to they're kind of just trying to have this collective approach. The last two or three managers, when you look at Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho, at times it often felt as much as those guys have, won everything, and they are winners, there's no denying that. It felt when things were going wrong, it was Conte versus the club, Mourinho versus the club, and it didn't feel like everyone was aligned on the same page. I think Tottenham want to try to get to that stage where they're all on the same page. So the manager, the recruitment, I should say head coach, recruitment, those at the top of the club, the players, and also the fact that their transfer policy is very clear. Like most clubs these days that want to go down this road, they don't buy over a certain age unless it's somebody on a short-term deal who could really help with an injury crisis, for example. But they want to target the best young players, and obviously they want to then see, give that time to blossom. And so it's all of those things together. Add into the mix when things were going this wrong under Conte and Mourinho, it often felt like it was a really negative atmosphere around the club. Ange Postecoglu seems to manage that really well in press conferences, where he still comes across as he's on the same page as the club, whereas maybe in the past, Conte or Mourinho started to blame the club for the recruitment, and we saw an example of it earlier this season when Romero seemed to hint that the club should have been doing more from a recruitment point of view, and Postecoglu actually said, no, he shouldn't have said that. We're together so I think those factors together have probably helped him get to this point. But quite clearly, as has been referenced many times by himself, that results need to improve.